Hello everyone, this is Augustus Caesar here with another episode of Project Platinum and Beyond. In this episode I will be playing Jax once again. And I will be playing against this scumbag, Elise. Now, well, besides just having scumbag in his name, I really don't like Elise. I've thought Elise was alright, and now I've come to absolutely hate her. And so this matchup is pretty heavily in Elise's favor, I believe. Lisa's pretty good late game. Lisa's early game is kind of weak, but my late game is pretty bad as well. And I make a few mistakes, and the game just kind of snowballs from there. So I was second pick, and they first picked Blitzcrank. I picked with my Morgana, and I picked Jax due to some decent results that I saw last time while playing Jax. Now, that's already a mistake I made there. I picked Jax because I just happened to do alright with him last game. What I should have done was pick just one of my most played champions and my best champion, which at the moment I believe is Aurelia for top lane. Let's just turn the sound down. It's way too fucking loud. Okay, so let's change the view. We are purple and I am Jax. So looking at Elise, Elise has a lot of harass, so I want to start 2 wards and 9 pots because I am concerned about Nasus ganks. Because if Nasus comes against me, there's a little chance for me to live unless I have a ward to jump to. So I'll just be standing here, and here I'm gonna wait for Elise. Now, maybe if I were gonna do this strategy from the beginning, maybe I should have bought a fortitude pot instead. But instead I got 9 wards. I mean 9 wards, 9 pots. Fuck, 9 wards. That'd be ridiculous, but incredibly useless. Okay, so I'm waiting for Elise to come by because I know she's in leash for. So I come here and I drop her under half, and that's great. Now I should have pushed the lane. I should have played more aggressive. But instead, I let her take control of the lane, and I just let my advantage slip right there. So immediately I should have looked at Elise's items. Admittingly, I was playing a little off this game. I wasn't playing as well as I should have, and I'm really pissed that I started this game without that kind of mentality. So she has 5 pots, 5 health pots, 2 mana pots, and 2 wards. So it's kind of like a version of 9 pots, 2 wards start. What? I guess she had more mana. Okay, so at first I thought I could just run health regen quints and I'd be able to out-sustain her damage and her mana. But I stupidly neglected the fact that they could just buy mana pots, and we're gonna see this mistake again later in the series. Well, in the next recent episode, as I make almost the same mistake there. So apparently, you know, this day I learned mana pots are a thing, which is pretty shitty of me. So I'm playing a little too passive here. I hit 6 because I'm not doing anything. And let's see. I'm just trying to last hit here. I have ward for myself, and I'm trying to think about how to play the matchup in my head. So going Negatron Cloak did pretty well for me last time I played against an AP, so I went Negatron Cloak again this time. And then this time I'm planning to build a little more, I guess, a little more straightforward items. Okay, so I'm taking double golems to kind of catch up in lane because Elise is kind of ahead of me in terms of CS. Let's look at the CS count. She has 53 to my 44, so she's about 10 CS ahead of me. But that's kind of to be expected. So I try to put some damage on her, and I get chunked pretty hard. And I noticed the item she buys, and let's see here, we kill her. Okay, so Elise went arm guard, but I'm doing mostly magic damage, so I don't really care. So I go back into Vamp Scepter because her constant harass is what's hurting me. So I thought I'd buy a Vamp Scepter to kind of sustain the damage out, and kind of do golems a little easier as well. So I try to dodge her Q, but I missed terribly. And I'm really trying to focus on CSing instead of whether or not I should or shouldn't CS, because I have a lot of pots. I have my Vamp Scepter. I thought I could afford to go in last hit. So let's see, 66 to her 74. So I'm falling behind in CS still yet. A bad dodge on my part. She goes in knowing my dodge is down. She goes in their spider form and she harasses me. So This guy's playing really well, and I'm playing pretty. Admittedly, I'm playing pretty poor. Like my early advantage on her, I could have pushed it out a lot further, but I didn't. So I messed up my stun again. She stuns me with her human range, and I go in on her, and I all in her, except she does the same to me. So let's see. We both blew our ignites, and that's about it. So we both blew our ignites, and that was the equivalent exchange, except my wave was pushing, so she lost little EXP from that. So I buy 2 wards, 2 pots, and I've turned my Merc Treads to kind of avoid that annoying stun, kind of shorten the duration. So this is a lot of CS, so I'm just kind of trying to ignore the amount of harass I'm taking and just last hit. But I'm taking too much harass. I pop my double pots. I go in on her. Let's actually slow that down a little bit. Okay, so my mentality when I went in on her, so let's just speed this up a little bit more. Okay, so she missed her cocoon. She missed 2 spells on me. That was a pretty good time to go in. Okay, so I jump on her. Hit my procs off, so I already have 6 stacks on my passive. I put a ward here to get vision. I used the stun because I noticed she went to spider form. I should have waited a little longer because she dodges my stun, and she didn't activate her frenzy, and she didn't activate her Q, I think. So I activate my ultimate. She stuns me. My Merc Treads can help me out here. Her spider form's not up for another 3 seconds. She goes back into spider form. I believe her Q hasn't come up yet, and I managed to kill her. So right there, that was probably the best time to go in. I saw her miss 2 spells on me. She missed her stun. She missed her volatile spiderling. And that was probably the best time to go in if I were to kill her. Now, I'm not sure if I took note of where the jungler was at that time. I probably should have. But I was already kind of losing the lane, and I just decided to go in. And luckily for me, the jungler wasn't anywhere nearby, and I managed to step away with a kill. So I'm trying to ward over the map. I'm going to take double golem, so she's always pushing the lane. So let's see, I get a Kindle Gem because I want to go for Spirit Visage. She gets some MR. They have a pretty heavy MR team. I mean, attack damage team. So I'm making a really bad play over here. I should have ulted earlier. I should have probably jumped and then flashed, but I just flashed in the middle of my jump, canceling it. That was really bad of me. And so I'm just going to push the lane some more. I get a Cutlass. I want to go Bladed Rune King, get some damage. Admittingly, I probably should have gone Phage instead, I think. Probably Negatron Phage like I did before. Maybe, I don't know, work on a Trend Force. Maybe Phage in the Cutlass. I don't know, like I said, that I'm not really too sure how to build Jackson's matchup. Like, it was pretty confusing to me. So I'm pretty much losing this matchup at this point. 146, 120. She's 20 farm ahead of me compared to being 10 farm ahead of me. She took the tower. I avoid getting dived. We are 12 to 20, and we are pretty behind. We're almost 10k behind, and I am not really doing the best on my team either. So let's see. Yep. So I'm not even doing the best on my team either. So I'm pretty behind. I probably should have gone to help my team with more objectives instead of just laning, because I was kind of getting spanked in lane. But admittingly, I wasn't too sure what to do, and I probably could have. I feel like I probably could have done better in the matchup had I played it out a little better, but I did not. Here I try to peel for Ezreal, and I try to go for a kill on Elise, and then that was a pretty bad mistake on my part. So I'm playing this game like a normal game, which is bad of me. And so I'm not using the right mentality in this game, and I wasn't playing it out correctly either, so I make some pretty bad plays, and ended up having to pay for it. So I get Bladed Rune King, go back, got some wards to hop to, clear this lane, put some wards down, clear the lane some more. I believe I buy my Spirit Bitches at some point. Perhaps I should have went into Hex Drinker because I was going to duel Elise a lot more. So probably should have gone Hex Drinker. There's not much to learn from the rest of this. It's just pretty much steamroll. And so our team gets steamrolled. Not much we can do. So middle lane I played really bad. I had an early game advantage at level 1 and I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't push the lane like I should have against Elise. Because if Elise, if you let Elise, I realize if you let Elise just lane, if you just lane instead of pushing, then you're gonna get the shit harassed out of you. So I should have pushed the lane more, so forcing her to focus on minions instead of myself. So I played that level 1 really bad, and the early game was admittedly really awful for me on my part. So I played that really terribly, and I was playing with a pretty bad mentality this game. So hopefully next game I can do better.